The causes and consequences of the rent debt crisis for private renters renting a home should be a positive choice that offers flexibility, convenience and affordability. But for millions of private renters in the UK and around the world, renting has become a source of anxiety, hardship and insecurity. This is because many renters are facing a rent debt crisis. They owe money to their landlords because they have not been able to pay their rent in full or on time. The rent debt crisis is caused by a combination of factors. Loss of income due to the pandemic, record high rents, lack of social housing, and risk of eviction and homelessness. These factors have created a perfect storm that has pushed many renters into financial difficulty. According to Step Change Debt Charity, 15% of private renters, 1.1 million people, are in problem debt as of this month. That's almost twice as high as the general population. And according to Citizens Advice, over 500,000 households are currently in rent arrears because of COVID. These numbers are likely to increase as government support schemes come to an end and eviction bans are lifted. The rent debt crisis has serious consequences for private renters. It affects their financial well-being, their housing conditions, their health, their mobility, and their opportunities. Renters who are struggling with debt may have to cut back on other essentials, borrow money from risky sources, live in poor or unsafe homes, suffer from physical or mental health problems, stay stuck in unsuitable accommodation, or lose their homes altogether. These impacts can have lasting effects on renters' lives. They can damage their credit ratings, limit their choices, reduce their chances, lower their confidence, and undermine their dignity. The rent debt crisis is not just a personal problem. It is also a social problem. It affects our communities. It increases homelessness, reduces social cohesion, creates inequalities, strains public services, wastes resources, harms productivity, undermines democracy. It affects our economy. It reduces consumer spending, lowers savings, increases borrowing, discourages investment, hampers growth, weakens resilience. It affects our environment. It encourages urban sprawl, increases emissions, degrades habitats, consumes energy, wastes materials, threatens biodiversity. The rent debt crisis is not inevitable. It is preventable. It can be solved with policy changes. Providing financial assistance to renters in arrears, increasing the supply and affordability of social housing, reforming the private rented sector regulations and enforcement. These changes can benefit everyone. They can improve living standards, enhance housing quality, boost health outcomes, increase mobility options, expand opportunities, raise confidence levels. They can also benefit our communities. They can reduce homelessness, increase social cohesion, create equality, relieve public services, save resources, improve productivity, strengthen democracy. They can also benefit our economy. They can increase consumer spending, raise savings, reduce borrowing, encourage investment, foster growth, enhance resilience. They can also benefit our environment. They can reduce urban sprawl, lower emissions, protect habitats, conserve energy, recycle materials, preserve biodiversity. The rent debt crisis is not irreversible. It is solvable. It can be solved with political will. Listening to renters' voices, recognizing renters' rights, responding to renters' needs, respecting renters' dignity, supporting renters' aspirations, empowering renters' agency. It can also be solved with public support. Raising awareness, building solidarity, demanding action, holding accountability, sharing responsibility, celebrating success. The rent debt crisis is one of the biggest challenges facing our society today. But it is also one of the biggest opportunities for positive change. By working together, we can end the rent debt crisis and make renting fair for all.